IELTS Speaking Practice Test. Part 1. Introduction and Interview. Do you live in a house or an apartment?
I currently live in a fairly spacious apartment on the outskirts of the city. It's a modern complex, so while I don't have a private garden, we do have access to some beautifully maintained communal green spaces, which is a nice compromise.
What is your favorite room in your home?
Without a doubt, it's the living room. It's flooded with natural light in the mornings, and it's where I unwind with a book or have long conversations with my family. It just has a very warm, inviting atmosphere that the other rooms lack.
Do you often read?
Yes, I'm an avid reader, though my habits have evolved. I tend to go through phases. I might devour several contemporary novels in a row and then switch to non-fiction, like biographies or popular science. I find it's the perfect way to de-stress.
What kind of books did you enjoy as a child?
I was completely captivated by adventure and fantasy series. I vividly remember racing through the Harry Potter books, utterly lost in those magical worlds. They really sparked my imagination and, I think, my initial love for storytelling.
IELTS Speaking Test. Part 2. Cue card. Describe a piece of technology you find useful.
I'd like to talk about my noise-cancelling headphones. I purchased them about 2 years ago, primarily because I was doing a lot of long-haul flights for work, and the constant engine hum was exhausting. I use them almost daily now, far beyond just travel. For instance, when I need to concentrate deeply on a complex task at the office or in a cafe, I put them on, and they create a bubble of silence that's incredibly productive. I also use them for listening to podcasts on my commute. They make the audio crystal clear, even on a noisy subway. What makes them so indispensable, though, is their dual function. They're not just for blocking sound, they're for enhancing it when I want. The noise cancellation itself feels like a superpower. It allows me to control my auditory environment in a world that's often overwhelmingly loud. So, they've become less of a gadget and more of an essential tool for both my focus and my peace of mind.
IELTS Speaking Test. Part 3. Two-way discussion. What is the impact of smartphones on social relationships?
That's a complex issue with a clear double-edged sword effect. On one hand, they've revolutionized connectivity, allowing us to maintain relationships across continents through video calls and instant messaging, something unimaginable a generation ago. However, the pervasive downside is the phenomenon of effubbing, where people snub others in person to scroll through their phones. This can erode the quality of face-to-face interactions, making them feel fragmented and less meaningful.
Do you think all new technology is beneficial?
Not inherently, no. I'd argue the benefit is entirely dependent on its application and regulation. Take social media algorithms as an example. The technology itself is sophisticated, but it can be deployed to create echo chambers or spread misinformation, which is socially harmful. Conversely, the same basic technology can connect niche communities or disseminate vital public health information. So, the technology is neutral. It's human intent and governance that determine its value.
How might artificial intelligence change the workplace in the future?
I foresee a significant shift rather than mere job replacement. AI will likely automate a lot of repetitive, data processing tasks, things like scheduling, basic data analysis, or document review. This will free up human professionals to focus on the aspects where we excel: creative problem solving, strategic thinking, and emotional intelligence. For instance, an accountant might spend less time on data entry and more on client advisory roles. The key challenge will be workforce retraining to navigate this transition smoothly.
That is the end of IELTS Speaking Test. Thank you.